फास्टेस्ट क्रिकेट स्कोर अपडेट्स या सबसे डिटेल्ड स्टैट्स
क्रिकेट के अंदर बाहर की खबरें
या हेल्दी डिबेट्स,
सबसे एक्यूरेट एनालिसिस
या फैंस का क्रेज, सबके लिए एक ही प्लेटफॉर्म, क्योंकि क्रिकेट मतलब क्रिकेट नेक्स्ट।
Hello and welcome to CricketNext. मैं हूं सौम्य कपूर and India have had a brilliant first day against England in the first test. इन्हें bowled out England for 246 and उसके बाद यशस्वी जायसवाल ने अपनी क्लास दिखाई. He is 76 unbeaten of 70 deliveries. As well, to talk more about this, India's bowling, Yashasvi's batting and much more, I have with me Keshavas Rao and will be shortly joined by Vineet Ramakrishnan. Welcome to CricketNext, everyone. Srini, I'll start with you. How impressed are you with the young Yashasvi Jaiswal? I mean, what a knock so far.
Yeah, I mean, you were expecting the guy to kind of blossom at some point, and you couldn't have had a better opportunity than this, because at the other end he had a guy who could rely on, to kind of lead the path, and the track. I somehow thought that when I was watching England bat early on in the innings, and then when towards the end when Ben Stokes was like kind of hitting, I really thought that this track wasn't so easy. But credit to the Indian team. I don't know if it eased out or what was it. I didn't hear the post-match comments, so I didn't hear about what they had to say. But he made it look very easy. The risk taking was kind of pretty smooth, and yeah, I mean, hats off to the way they've kind of managed to put the runs on board. Although I'm not very happy with what happened with Rohit, but I'll come to that later.
Yeah, I saw that tweet also from you. Okay, Jimmy, coming to you, how impressed are you with Yashasvi Jaiswal? The boy is finally showing the glimpse of the talent he has got.
बिल्कुल. I mean, we saw exactly what he can do on Test debut. चलो West Indies था, but when you start off your debut with 100 overseas, that counts for a lot. And it seems surprising कि हम बात कर रहे हैं कि इसका पहला Test match है at home. It's like we've seen him in the IPL do things for now what 2 maybe 3 seasons, if that's a stretch. एक तो COVID था, कोई बात नहीं. But you watch him bat and like he's taken the pitch out of the equation, much like Rohit Sharma did when he got that 160 against England. I'm not comparing the track. This was far easier, but there was a job to do. And yeah, 70 ball, 73 hitting. He put someone like Rohit Sharma so far in the rearview mirror. Maybe that's why Rohit played the shot. I don't know. I know Srini has strong views. We'll come there. But I thought, look, it was a better pitch than 246. But 246 means, to my mind, India have to get to 400 at least, because you don't want to be chasing anything over 150 on the final innings. But the way this guy is batting, 400 to lag raha hai, ho jayega, so hats off to him. I mean, this is what people want to see. And really good to see the crowd also. Hyderabad, you don't expect such crowds, but the way they were cheering this guy's every shot, yeah, matlab, अच्छा दिन रहा वैसे भी, but this guy was like that, to use a cliche, that the icing on the cake. Fantastic knock, and I've got a feeling he's going to make it really big.
Yeah. Srini, what do you have to say about that maturity from Yashasvi Jaiswal when the debutant Tom Hartley came in? He just smacked him for a couple of sixes, didn't let him settle, because कहीं ना कहीं ये बात होती है कि जो debut spinners होते हैं in India, they perform well. कहीं ना कहीं वो एक dominance दिखा देते हैं, but not this. What do you have to say about that?
See, I think they've picked a leaf out of where they left, which was the last test that they played. The last test that they played was in South Africa. So if you look at the second innings, that winning test, if you look at the second innings, how Yashasvi and Rohit started off, they started off on an exactly aggressive note like what they did today. And if you look back at that innings, it was again Yashasvi who had taken charge, right? I think between that one and the somewhere. Looks like between Rohit and Yashasvi a template has been set in terms of how they're going to kind of approach their test innings as openers. Where Yashasvi has clearly been given the mandate to go after bowlers, right? And which is exactly what we saw then, which is exactly what we saw today. Kind of in terms of the freedom that he was given to go and express himself. Now, there is something very interesting, which I think I'm not very sure in commentary who exactly I was listening to, whether it was Ravi who brought this up, Shastri, or I don't know who, but somebody mentioned something very clear, very well, which is this is the kind of era that you're looking at where a batter is making his presence felt through the T20 format and then going on to achieve bigger things by aspiring to get into the test. So, somewhere or the other, the reflection of the batter that you are in the format that you first settle down is going to begin to reflect in the formats that you begin to play. So, and because that becomes the basic nature of your cricketing acumen, right? It's like go back 15 years, go back to a VV Lakshman trying his hand at T20 cricket. Go back a few years and go and look at some of the more established batsmen of that time trying their hand at T20 cricket. How much ever they try to be aggressive, their schooling from the red ball format, that perspective, it never really left them. So likewise, today it's a reversal of roles where you're looking at these kids coming from a T20 perspective. The schooling has been so T20 that it begins to reflect in every other format that you begin to play, right? Which is what is happening in the case of Yashasvi. And I'm saying that this is just the beginning and that we're going to see more and more Yashasvis, kind of coming into the scheme of things and doing this, again, time and again. So from that perspective, I'd like to just say that this is expected. This is expected from a cricketer who's actually made his bones in a particular format and is actually kind of building his muscle based on where he's coming from. So it's a natural extension of the cricketer that he is, and I think being given the freedom to go out and express himself out there is just icing on the cake for him.
True, true. On that note, I'll
just
yeah, yeah, Jimmy, you can go ahead.
No, I'm saying just to very briefly add on, right? You're right when you say कि भाई नए spinners को
Second.
Indian players often struggle. But here, exactly just to follow up, Shini's right. IPL confidence, all that. It's also a guy he's playing his first Test match in India. दो खेल चुके हैं West Indies में, but for all practical purposes, it's like a new debut. He doesn't have that baggage, right? I'm not saying this is a direct comparison, but Shini, you remember this very well. Sadda Gopan Ramesh जब आए थे, right? He didn't come with the fanfare of this guy. But look, a lefty on debut, I remember he got 40 odd before stumps, and his strike rate back then, Shini, was over 100. Okay, for someone in 1998 on debut with very little footwork to hit Wasim and Waqar off their lines at a strike rate, it's not, to my mind, it's got a lot. It's got a lot to do with, yes, you come through by ticking certain boxes, but it's just यहाँ पे ना आपका थोड़ा खाली है as compared to the guys who've been playing it. Now,
Right.
it's only 40 that Sadhu Ramesh got. Never got 100. Jaiswal going to go far further. But I'm just seeing parallels with what happened 25 years ago in a guy saying, you know what, we have problems against left-arm pace, but I'm going to hit someone like Wasim off his lines just by stepping out. And this guy did the same thing. So hats off to the guy, and I hope we see this because sometimes the farther you go, you achieve great heights, but you get bogged down by this. I'm talking about the Rohit and the Virats. This guy is no Rohit, no Virat, but in his first Test innings, he's taken that fear of the unknown off with the first ball. चल तू हार्टली है, तू 6 फुट 4 इंच का है, कोई बात नहीं, मैं तुझे सेटल नहीं होने दूंगा. And more power to these guys.
Yeah, okay. And on that note, I'll also welcome Vineet. Vineet, you were watching Yashasvi from very close quarters. What do you have to say? What do you have to say about that knock? You're mute, Vineet. Yeah.
Yeah, so as Srini and Jamie mentioned, I mean, fearless cricket, no baggage of that new spinner coming in. It was just fearless cricket, to be honest. That's what it was. He came, I mean, preconceived notion are not something that you want to come up with, but he had that preconceived notion. Look, you have a left arm spinner, you have a leg spinner. Everything is going to turn into him, right? Everything is going to be in his arc. So he was taking his chances. That first ball, six, I think we all talk about, bowlers taking a wicket of their first international delivery. Tom Hartley got hit for a six in his international delivery that he will remember. So that was the intent. I mean, he knew what he had to do and he backed his skills and he took his chances and fearless cricket. I mean, that is what we've been talking about. That you need that fearlessness. It comes from IPL or not, you don't know, but that guy exuded confidence. And again, yeah, Bazball, we talk about Yashasvi Jaiswal showed what Bazball can actually, can do here in India. This is what Bazball is, from an Indian conditions point of view. And he just continued on. It's not like he started it off and then, bogged down or tried to settle in. he played in that same vein. Not just Tom Hartley, Jack Leach came on to bowl. He was, very much over him. Again, not letting anybody settle in. On the other hand, I would have thought Ben Stokes would have been, it would have been prudent from England side to start off with Joe Root, the off spinner, rather than just putting in an debutant left arm spinner to Yashasvi Jaiswal and then getting Jack Leach in. You only had one off spinner. You have a left-hander. You probably would have been better off going with a Joe Root, but the selection, Benson didn't have much in his hands to do. But giving it to Hartley, it was surprising. He could have gone with Jack Leach before going to Hartley. Hartley should have come as a first change bowler. That's what I thought.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, Srini, you were saying something.
No, I was, just to add to what Vineet is saying, I think what they tried to do with Hartley is they themselves are not very sure how exactly are they going to use these three bowlers over this very long series. So we know that Leach is going to be doing a lot of hard work across the five tests. By the time, again, I don't know what will be his halat by the time he goes back to England. He would have really overworked himself. So how to use the other options that they have, I think it's just about the beginning, and even England don't really have an idea how they want to go about. So this is still a trial and error phase for them. I think they'll have to figure out. Maybe this innings is going to teach them how exactly to
And
pace the ball.
also, and also, just to touch upon this thing, now when I see Tom Hartley bowl, the way that he bowled, the way he got under pressure after being hit for those two sixes, there were a couple of long hops, there were a couple of no balls. Whenever Yashasvi came on to bat, he lost his line and length. Now I'm thinking back, and all these issues about Shoaib Bashir, would he have been the guy to debut instead of Hartley if Bashir would have been here? That's
Hundred
something
percent.
that came to my mind as well.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, Vineet, but I
No,
just want to.
that's now it becomes all the more clear actually what you're saying
Yeah.
after
Bilkul.
today's play that Bashir would have definitely made the first choice,
But
or
but
maybe who I don't know. Yeah, sorry.
but again, Shini and Jamie, I will ask you this. 20 फर्स्ट क्लास मैचेस तो खेल ही लिए काउंटी में. इतना प्रिपेयर तो हर प्लेयर होता है कि ऑल ऑफ अ सडन अगर आपको कॉल अप लेना पड़े एंड यू न्यू कि ये थोड़ा सा कंफ्यूजन चल रहा है अबाउट द वीजा, यू शुड हैव बीन रेडी इनफ रेडी टू गो देयर एंड बी द पार्ट ऑफ द टीम. जेमी, व्हाट डू यू थिंक?
100%.
Yeah, yeah. Again, I mean, look, it's the guy's played all his cricket in certain conditions, but it's only one innings. He could be like Jason Krejci. He could get 10 wickets tomorrow. We don't know. But look, I think he didn't bowl as badly. But like I said, when you have someone like Jaiswal who's not allowing you to settle, Rohit hardly faced him, so you can't say how he bowled. He primarily bowled to one guy. I'm sure the timid nature with which Shubman Gill came out, I would not be surprised if a different Hartley comes. To attack these guys, you have to do something. और किसने सोचा एक वीरेंद्र सहवाग था. Show me any other player जो अपने घर के डेब्यू पे एक सामने वाले को पहले बॉल पे सिक्स लगाएगा. Vineet's right, the angle and all is there, but it still needs a big pair of brass balls to go out and swing the guy for six first ball, right? Imagine if he'd not done that. Imagine if 3-4 balls he'd beaten the back. A very, very different Tom Hartley. So I'm not going to fault him. Chalo, scorecard says 8 over 73. Terrible figures. But yeah, until the innings is complete, I'm not going to pass any final judgment on Tom Hartley.
True, true. Okay, coming back to यशस्वी जायसवाल टू सिक्सेस अगेंस्ट हार्टली. विनीत, कैसा रिएक्शन था क्राउड का, कैसा रिएक्शन था प्रेस बॉक्स में, समवन मेकिंग हिज डेब्यू बीइंग हिट फॉर अ सिक्स ऑन द फर्स्ट बॉल?
Look, the crowd was all throughout fantastic. Each time, the Indian bowlers were beating the England batters bad. There was so much noise. There were so many school children out there. Near about 5,000 odd school children were there. It was so good to see them. And when India came out to bat and Jaiswal that six really like spurred them up. Not that they needed any spurring, but it went up another notch. And all in all, I'll tell you what. This was a very good day in terms of spectators, in terms of spectators watching the game and enjoying the game. And Jaiswal's final session, Jaiswal firework really, really was the icing on the cake for these spectators. And the reaction, I mean, we knew that, Jaiswal is going to go. I mean, there was talks about in the press box itself that Jaiswal is not going to hang around. He's not going to let the spinners settle. So it was on expected lines, but yeah, when he hit that six, that slot sweep, the timing, the connection it got, I mean, we were like, wow, now this is the start of something, and he just carried on with that.
True, true. Okay, coming to your tweets, really about Rohit Sharma. Yes, that was disappointing because on a cricketing front, जब एक player आपका एक end से अपनी तेज खेल रहा है, you don't really
Exactly.
need to take risk. Yeah, yeah. Your thoughts.
Exactly. See, uh, uh, okay, let me break this down into two, three various different points. Number one, if Yashasvi would have gotten out to a similar dismissal, I really wouldn't have been so disappointed. Okay, he's a young boy, you've given him the mandate to go out there, let his hands free. I mean, the guy gets too excited for his own good, like plays a rash shot,
Yeah,
absolutely mistimed it. Now, come back to this. First of all, given the kind of batter that you are, I'm talking about Rohit, you really don't need to. You didn't. That shot was unwarranted. That's number one. Two, at that point in the game, you had a partner at the other end who was going really good, and things were going for you. You were not lagging behind in any which ways, right? So there again was no need to play that point, shot. Third, you're playing the last session of a day. There is a full day of test match batting coming up. What are you thinking? You're not here somewhere between lunch and tea. You are in the last half an hour of play, whatever 1 hour of play left, and then you have another full day to look forward to. If setting up that 400 plus is was actually on your mind, you know, and that after you kind of the batting lineup that you have, your best batsman in the playing 11 is not available. He's taken a break. The only other guy we were going to depend on, as we discussed in our pre-match discussion, was and talked about in our pre-match discussion, was Shreyas, right? So when you know that there are certain liabilities that you've got to attend to, which you're already carrying, why would you not put that and make that extra effort to be conscious about the strokes that you're playing? It was an absolutely ill-timed, unwarranted stroke, completely out of turn. You really didn't know, he didn't need to do that. And
yeah.
I thought that was a bad judgment, especially coming from a guy who I expect to kind of stay there. Yeah.
True, true. Jamie, what do you think? Because I just thought, looking at that shot, it was premeditated. Like he had made up his mind that he's gonna come.
So yeah, sorry, I'll just add to that one line because you brought this up. He had before the delivery came, he had made up his mind where he wanted to hit it, how he wanted to hit it, and this is not T20. I mean, maybe Yashasvi may not be able to understand it, but I expect you to understand it. That's Rohit.
True.
Sorry.
Yeah, Jamie, your thoughts.
Look, I mean, I just think what surprised me was there was no need for it, right? Why are you have your opening has carried this team through the Asia Cup and through a World Cup. Ho gaya, we know what you can do, but you've been like I was telling Chetan the other day on that live stream when we were all talking about dipping batting averages and all this stuff. Since the WTC came into effect and India put a premium on these turners, Rohit Sharma's got 500s, right? So someone who's got 500s is leagues ahead of the rest of your band. Why are you playing this shot, right? You play this shot after maybe 6, 7 maiden overs. Jaiswal is scoring at a strike rate of 100. You had no need to. If you want to catch up and all, then I'm sorry that was a really stupid shot. But it was a shot that came out of nowhere. He was already on 12 or 13 at a good strike rate. He just didn't have it. Shini is right. In his mind, it was all planned out. Kaha marunga, but there was no need for it. Especially, it's what, another 40 odd minutes to stumps. So, but again, I mean, we can't be harsh on someone who's got 500s when no one else has got more than two in the last 4 years of this WTC cycle.
True, true. Okay, on that note, I'll also welcome Chetan Bhai. Chetan Bhai, welcome to Cricket Next. We were talking about Yashasvi's knock and Rohit Sharma's dismissal. Your quick comment on both of the things.
क्विक कमेंट तो मैं यही दूंगा यार कि आप कितना मर्जी बैसबॉल कर लो, अगर आप क्लब क्रिकेट के बॉलर्स लेकर आओगे तो आप आई डिड नॉट वन स्लॉट, मतलब बैसबॉल ना स्टबर्न क्रिकेट बन गया है. इट्स नॉट क्रेजी क्रिकेट, इट्स नॉट एडवेंचरस क्रिकेट. क्या जायसवाल ने जो खेला वो बैसबॉल की कैटेगरी में आता है? नहीं. इट्स कॉल्ड, आई थिंक इट्स स्टबर्न क्रिकेट. खैर उस पे बाद में आएंगे. जायसवाल की बात करूं तो आई लव दैट kid. मैंने बहुत बार कहा है, मैं आज कमेंट्री में भी बात कर रहा था, he is the future superstar.
Yeah.
क्या पहला टेस्ट मैच खेल रहा है यार इंडिया में, एंड लुक एट द कॉन्फिडेंस ही हैज, एंड बॉल इज टर्निंग, एंड वी वर एक्सपेक्टिंग, आई वाज वंडरिंग, हम कमेंट्री पे बात कर रहे थे कि क्या होगा क्या होगा क्या होगा, बॉल इज टर्निंग, बॉल इज ग्रिपिंग. ऑब्वियसली इंडियन स्पिनर्स और इंग्लिश स्पिनर्स की क्वालिटी में जमीन और आसमान का फर्क है स्टिल, एंड दिस गाय, दिस इज अ किड यू आर टॉकिंग अबाउट, ही इज प्लेइंग हिज फर्स्ट टेस्ट मैच इन इंडिया. अच्छा क्राउड था, 20,000 लोग आए हुए थे. What a knock, yaar. What a knock. That confidence is there, and the ability is obviously there. मैं पहले भी शो पे कह चुका हूँ, अभी दोबारा भी कह रहा हूँ, अगले 7 साल ऑल फॉर्मेट बैटर मिल गया है इंडिया को. संभाल के रखो, केयर करो इस प्लेयर की, मैनेज करो इस प्लेयर को, मेक हिम अ बिगर सुपरस्टार दैन ही इज. I don't know whether we'll be able to find replacements for Rohit and Virat, but let's not find another Rohit or another Virat. Let's make Yashasvi Jaiswal, and Indian cricket has a diamond on its hand. Obviously he needs to go outside and still perform, but ठीक है, अभी he's young, he's only played one series overseas in tough conditions, वो भी, so
इतना कॉन्फिडेंट था कि रोहित को चिल्ला के बोला कि भागो.
हाँ, I mean, वो तो यार देखो, if you're batting, वो तो उसमें सीनियर जूनियर कुछ नहीं होता है, ठीक है. If you're batting with somebody, तो you're batting with somebody. उसमें कोई सर नहीं होता है, ठीक है. He's not Rohit sir, he's Rohit. He's batting with Rohit Sharma. He's not batting with Rohit sir or Virat sir. So yeah, but what a kid, what a player. However, having said that, I don't think the match is done yet.
True.
I don't think the match is done yet. अभी he's made sure that आज रात इंडिया बहुत अच्छे से सोएगी, इंग्लैंड भी अच्छे से सोएगी, क्योंकि वो लोग रिग्रेट करते नहीं है. It's stubborn as cricket. Sorry for using that statement, but it's stubborn cricket यार. It's stubborn cricket. वो बंदा पिट रहा है, आप उसको 9 ओवर करा दिए. That's not bad. There's a fine line between brave and stupid. There's a very fine line.
Okay, Chandan bhai, I'll come to the bowling bit. I'll just take a quick comment from Srini because he has to leave. Srini, what should be India's plan for tomorrow? This last question for you.
What should be India's plan tomorrow is what India's plan today was supposed to be, which is why I was critical of Rohit's dismissal. I'm saying there's no plan. There's only one plan here. Just bat. Just go out there, stand there, bat the whole day, though without losing wickets. Just bat. I mean, a good old Test cricket. You really don't need to plan anything. You just would need to go there and stand and bat without losing any more wickets. I was expecting that the way things were going, I wouldn't have been really disappointed had Yashasvi, lost his way. Glad he's there. He's in the right form. He's in the right touch. But I expected Rohit to be there. And, it's the same guy I'm talking about who got his 161 against the same opposition, in Chennai. It's the same guy who actually stood good for India when Australia came around, and he knows what was the right thing to do. He knew the importance of standing there and getting those runs on the board. And I don't think anybody understands it better than Rohit at this point in time. So that's exactly what I was critical about. To put my last word out here, what you need to do tomorrow is you don't really need to plan for anything. You just need to go out there, stand, and score the good old fashioned way. That's about it. And at the end of the day, if you are 350 plus with still some wickets in hand, then tomorrow evening, same time, then we can sit down and discuss, okay, now what should be the plan going forward. But tomorrow, plan to put runs on the board and just say that the whole day is back.
Okay.
I mean, whatever happened to that whole good old, way of watching Test cricket? Like, I've got a full day that I will only bat, period. Where's the rocket science?
Yeah. Cool. Well,
right.
Thank you for joining us.
Bye.
Wait, Srini, check your messages.
Yeah.
Check your WhatsApp messages.
All right, I'll check.
Okay. Yeah, Chinmay, you were talking about the bowling bit, giving the ball, continuously giving
Not
the
just,
ball.
not just not just bowling bit. It's just overall. देखो, आज का cricket देख के, I'll tell you something. I am a fan of Bazball now, but also not a fan of Bazball. Also a critic. I will continue to be a critic of Bazball. I'm also a fan now. Why am I a fan? Because yesterday I interacted with Brendan McCullum and Ben Stokes, and today I've seen the way they are playing. I've been able to understand their approach better. It's no regrets approach. But you know what? which is good because sometimes you need that in cricket. It's adventurous. हमने देखा है बहुत सारी टीमें जो हैं यहाँ पे इंडिया में आके ऐसी पिचेस को देख के क्रिब करेगी. Brendan McCullum का comment yesterday, I had a word with him and he's like, I love the pitch. They're taking the challenge head on. That is why I like Bazball now कि they're not cribbing about it. मुझे यही था कि क्रिब ना करें, तो वो क्रिब नहीं कर रहे हैं. They're taking the challenge head on. 3 स्पिनर खिला रहे हैं, सब कुछ कर रहे हैं. I would not say
mindless actually.
मैं mindless नहीं कहूंगा, मैं stubborn कहूंगा. मैं stubborn word का यूज करूंगा. और criticism देखो, आप criticism नहीं escape कर सकते क्योंकि इंग्लिश क्रिकेट में आपको देर सवेर वो criticism मिलेगा ही मिलेगा. English cricket is building up to one thing and one thing only. उनको घंटा फर्क नहीं पड़ता if they lose 5-0 in India. They want to win. वो जीत जाएंगे, अच्छी बात है. नहीं जीतेंगे, घंटा फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा. They are only and only building to next December. Next December, this team goes to Australia to play Ashes in Australia. वहां की पिचेस के हिसाब से ये स्ट्रैटेजी बनाई गई है. ये स्ट्रैटेजी इंडिया के लिए नहीं है, ये स्ट्रैटेजी इंग्लैंड के लिए नहीं है. इंग्लैंड की पिचेस को आपने स्लो कर दिया है, पाटा कर दिया है. ये स्ट्रैटेजी है ऑस्ट्रेलिया में जाके एशेस जीतने की, कि आप अक्रॉस द लाइन मारे जा रहे हो, मारे जा रहे हो, मारे जा रहे हो. दैट इज द ओनली थिंग दैट मैटर्स टू देम. इंडिया में टेस्ट क्रिकेट आपको जीतने के लिए, एग्जैक्टली, इंडिया में टेस्ट क्रिकेट आपको जीतने के लिए सिर्फ जिगरा नहीं चाहिए, आपको दिमाग भी चाहिए. आपकी 3 विकेट गिर गई, बैटिंग की बात करते हैं, आपकी 3 विकेट गिर गई, उसके बाद जो रूट और बेस्टो को थोड़ा सा जिगरा कम करके टाइम खेलना था. दे नीडेड टू बैट आउट दैट सेशन. लेकिन थोड़ा सा प्रेशर डाला अक्षर पटेल ने, थोड़ा सा सबड्यू किया बेस्टो को, वहीं पे आपके विकेट आ गए. गेटिंग माय पॉइंट? पीपल विल आर्ग्यू कि इन्होंने 250 बना दिए, पहले ये 150 पे ऑल आउट हो जाते. क्या तीर मार लिया आपने 250 बना के? एक दिन और मैच खिंच गया बस. लेकिन अगर आप थोड़ा अच्छे से बैटिंग कर लेते, थोड़ा बेटर बैटिंग कर लेते, वो अप्रोच चेंज कर लेते, थोड़ा प्रैग्मेटिक हो जाते, तो मे बी यू कुड हैव स्कोर्ड 275, 300 ऑन द पिच वेयर यू बैटेड फर्स्ट. सेम थिंग आप उनकी बॉलिंग में देखो, आपको हार्टली को ओवर दिए जा रहे हो, दिए जा रहे हो, दिए जा रहे हो. 63-9 यार, कम ऑन, दिस इज टेस्ट क्रिकेट वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट. ठीक है, आप उसका कॉन्फिडेंस नहीं तोड़ना चाहते, पहले ओवर में रन पड़ गए, दूसरे में पड़ गए, कॉन्फिडेंस नहीं तोड़ना चाहते, आपने एक तीसरा ओवर दे दिया. लेकिन कहीं पे तो आपको लगाम लगानी पड़ेगी ना. ऊपर से आपके 3 रिव्यू चले गए, आप विकेट लेना चाहते हो. बेन डकेट पोस्ट मैच में आगे कह रहे हैं कि वी हैड वेरी क्लोज कॉल्स, वी कुड हैव टेकन 3-4 विकेट्स. कौन सी दुनिया में हो? ये क्या बातें चल रही हैं? सो दिस इज बीइंग स्टबर्न. There's a very fine line between brave and stupid. ये क्रिकेट देखने में अच्छा लगेगा. हम अब जैसे मेरे को भी अच्छा लग रहा है कि they are taking the challenge head on. लेकिन बॉस, ये क्रिकेट खेल के आप इंडिया में नहीं जीत सकते. इंडिया में जीतने के लिए, टेस्ट मैच जीतने के लिए बहुत मेहनत लगती है, बहुत दिमाग लगता है. आपको अपने कंफर्ट बॉक्स से जाकर खेलना पड़ता है. ये कंफर्ट बॉक्स से बाहर जाकर नहीं खेल रहे हो. ये आप खेल रहे हो कि मैं खेलूंगा, जैसे मर्जी खेलूंगा, जो होगा मुझे फर्क नहीं पड़ता. दैट्स वेरी डिफरेंट. सो इस एटीट्यूड के साथ आप इंडिया में टेस्ट सीरीज नहीं जीतोगे.
Okay, Vineet, I'll come to the batting bit of England later on, but do you think on the same lines कि ये थोड़ा stubborn thinking है from Stokes as well as McCullum, Hartley, someone like Hartley giving away runs. ठीक है, आप confidence नहीं तोड़ना चाहते, but again you had someone like रेहान जिसको आप बहुत देर में लेकर आए. You could have made changes. कहीं ना कहीं थोड़ा stubborn हो रही है England team moving forward.
By the account of what, one day, I wouldn't say they are stubborn. Option नहीं था यार, मेरे को तो यही लग रहा है. They had that preconceived notion कि हम इसी हिसाब से खेलेंगे, इसी हिसाब से एक बार करेंगे. And you could say कि हाँ इतने runs खा गए तो stubborn है. So every time you gave the ball to Tom Hartley, दिमाग में यही चल रहा होगा ना कि नहीं ये और अच्छा हो जाएगा, ये और अच्छा हो जाएगा, ये और अच्छा हो जाएगा. I mean you also had a Rian Ahmed same, leg spinner, run तो पड़ ही रहे थे, इसको भी पड़ रहे, शायद उसको भी पड़ जाते. मेरे को तो यही था कि यार रिहान अहमद से पहले जो रूट पे कर लेते. स्टबर्ननेस तो है, लाइक चेतन इज राइट कि बैसबॉल आप कुछ भी कह दो, इट्स अ बिट ऑफ स्टबर्ननेस, इट इज देयर. बट आई विल जस्ट टच अपॉन द बैटिंग थिंग. बैसबॉल नहीं था वो, इट वाज जस्ट सम क्वालिटी बॉलिंग फ्रॉम इंडिया. इवन दैट फर्स्ट 8 ओवर्स दैट दे स्कोर्ड 55 रन्स, वो भी बैसबॉल तरीके से नहीं था. नन ऑफ देम वर फोर्स्ड शॉट्स और फोर्स्ड रन्स. आई मीन सिराज बोल्ड बैडली. उसके बाद जो भी था द चांसेस आर्म्स अराउंड. इवन उसके बाद भी जो रूट एंड जॉनी बेस्टो जिस तरीके से खेल रहे थे, दे वर प्लेइंग फ्रीली. इट वाजंट दैट बैसबॉल दैट दे प्रॉब्ली सीन इन साउथ अफ्रीका और प्रॉब्ली इन द एशेस कि यार पोस्ट तरीके से खेल रहे थे. Stokes by the end of it he realized कि यार मेरे को रन मारकर ही ना रन कर सकता हूँ. They had a target of 250. So it was not Bazball, but I do agree to a certain extent कि यार थोड़ा stubbornness जरूर है. But that is what Stokes the captain is, Stokes the player is. He's a stubborn player, a stubborn guy. Bazball, Brendan McCallum is a stubborn guy. You look at that World Cup final 2015. Stubbornness था यार, मिचेल स्टार्क को मारूंगा ही मारूंगा चाहे फाइनल हो जो भी हो. That is the same thing that is coming towards this team. स्टोक्स का जो एटीट्यूड है, ब्रेंडन मैकलम का जो एटीट्यूड है, द फिलॉसफी है, वही आपको यहाँ पे दिख रहा है. अब दैट हैड गिवन देम सक्सेस यार. आप ये मना नहीं कर सकते सक्सेस नहीं मिला है, बट दैट सेम थिंग उसका रिजल्ट आपको यहाँ पे नहीं मिला. एंड इट्स ओनली वन डे. एंड एज चेतन राइटली सेड, अभी टाइम जरूर है. थोड़ा बेकार था इनका. आई मीन लूजिंग 3 रिव्यूज आल्सो. स्टोक्स बॉलिंग चेंजेस भी नहीं हुए. ठीक है, यू कुड probably attribute it to a bad day as a captain. Tomorrow might be better in terms of learning from what he did wrong. टॉम हार्टली को आपको बॉल देना, मैं तो पहले ही कह रहा हूँ कि टॉम हार्टली से शुरू ही नहीं करना चाहिए था. 9 ओवर तो छोड़ो, 1 ओवर भी नहीं कराना चाहिए था. पहले तो जो रूट ध्यान अहमद को लेकर आ जाते.
Yeah, okay. Moving on to India's bowling and England's batting. Jamie, your thoughts about India's bowling. Second, your thoughts about KS Bharat's wicket keeping. क्योंकि जितना मैंने देखा, I was really impressed.
Let me start with the KS Bharat because this question was asked to me already. KS Bharat did nothing which we've not seen him do. 5 test matches for India, one in England. When he's very good, he looks like the best after Saha. But when he's fumbling the ball, you're like, what have we gained? So I am at the exact same place as I was in regards to KS Bharat before this test match. He deserved to keep here. He should have started. KL Rahul was never going to keep. Dhruv Jurel is a long way from making his India debut. But Kona Bharat is the same Kona Bharat he was when he was dropped after 5 test matches. जब बॉल यहाँ ले रहे, जब कर रहे, बहुत बढ़िया है. But there was enough in his average to say that he's still not the finished product, and I'm hoping that Rishabh Pant comes back. First question was on India's bowling. Look, 246 is not going to win you a test match in India. Okay? But the fact that they got 100 plus runs in back-to-back sessions without, like Vineet said, without really going Bazball, it says how India still left a lot out there to be desired. You should have got them for 170, 180 when they were 155 for 8, if I'm not mistaken. You let them get to 246. Aapki ye laparwahi hai. Jadeja went for 8 runs per over in his final spell. Very few teams can take Jadeja for 8 runs. Okay. Mohammad Siraj was a disaster. आपको पता है कि आपको दूसरी इनिंग्स में शायद गेंदबाजी नहीं मिलेगी. आप घर पे खेल रहे हो मियां भाई. आप 8 रन प्रति ओवर पे क्यों जा रहे हो? You bowled badly. Bumrah was Bumrah. Bumrah is excellent. Bumrah gave you control in every time he was called, and he was called back for 3 spells. His first spell, 4 overs, 12. You're not going to get more. At best, he would have bowled 6 overs, and he would have still gone for 3 overs. He came back. He got Rayan Ahmed. He came back. He got the biggest wicket of the day. Akshar Patel is Akshar Patel. He's not going to bowl better. He's not going to bowl worse. It's a very good day. India are firmly in the driver's seat. Was the bowling excellent? Not at all. It was good bowling with some bad batting, which got England to 246. My point is, until India get to 425, this game is wide open. You do not want to bat again. अभी आपको 400 minimum. अगर आप 400 नहीं बना पाओगे, match is very much open. Let's not get ahead of ourselves here.
ट्रू. जैन भाई, यहाँ पे बॉलिंग की बात हुई. आई रिमेम्बर यू वर सेइंग कि अगर हम एक फास्ट बॉलर के साथ भी जाते हैं, बिकॉज दे गोना बॉल सम 7-8 ओवर्स, और वही हुआ 12.5 ओवर डाले. प्रोबेबली कुलदीप को यहाँ ला सकते थे इंस्टेड ऑफ वन ऑफ द फास्ट बॉलर्स.
देखो, 4 स्पिनर के साथ तो इंडिया नहीं जाता ना यार. अब आप देखो, 3 स्पिनर खिला के ही देयर वाज सो मच इश्यूज. मतलब सबको कंसिस्टेंट स्पेल्स नहीं मिल रहे थे. Ashwin was getting very itchy on the field कि उसको bowling नहीं मिल रही है. There was a time 2 राइट हैंडर हैं क्रीज पे तो 2 लेफ्ट आर्म स्पिनर लगा दिए. ऐसा तो है नहीं कि अश्विन राइट हैंडर्स की विकेट नहीं ले सकते. So Ashwin is somebody who likes to keep bowling 35-40 ओवर दे दो. तो he's like that. Obviously he's not going to say anything क्योंकि there's a team strategy. They want to win, simple. But what I'm trying to say is कि 3 स्पिनर में भी आपको इश्यूज आ रहे हैं कि आप कैसे उनको हैंडल करोगे. स्पेशली व्हेन बेन स्टोक्स वाज बैटिंग विद द टेल, तब आपने 2 लेफ्ट आर्म स्पिनर लगा दिए. मेरे को तो समझ नहीं आया ये क्या कैप्टनसी थी. उन्होंने बेन स्टोक्स ने उठा के तोड़ दिया ऊपर से. एग्जैक्टली इतने इजी सिंगल, मतलब खुद ही हम कंफ्यूज हो गए कमेंट्री करते करते कि यार लास्ट बॉल है, फिर भी फील्ड इतनी स्प्रेड आउट क्यों है कि आप अंदर प्लेयर नहीं लेके आ रहे हो. बहुत आसानी से सिंगल दे रहे हैं, उनको लग रहा है कि वो उठा के मारेगा. नहीं यार, उसमें भी दिमाग है, वो एक सिंगल खेल रहा है. सो जो लास्ट के 40 रन आए हैं वो बहुत पुअर कैप्टनसी की वजह से आए हैं. थोड़ी बेकार बॉलिंग भी थी. जडेजा क्या कर रहे थे मुझे नहीं समझ आया. एक छक्का लगा तो दूसरी बॉल शॉर्ट लगा दी. Yeah, exactly. I think that was really bad bowling from Jadeja. मतलब छक्का लगा है, दूसरी बॉल आपने शॉर्ट लगा दी, उसने फिर छक्का लगा दिया. उसको बॉलिंग कर रहे हो यार आप, जैक लीच को बॉलिंग नहीं कर रहे हो. So from that aspect, England could have been out for 180, not even 245. Yeah, they could have been out for 180. I think India stretched and stretched and stretched. So yeah, आपके क्वेश्चन का जवाब देते हुए मुझे नहीं लगता है कि आपके पास 4 स्पिनर की जगह. I still think कि एक पेसर और 3 स्पिनर खिला सकते थे. तो आप अक्षर को ना खिलाते, आप कुलदीप को खिलाते और आप एक एक्स्ट्रा बैटर खिला लेते. रजत पाटीदार को खिला लेते या ध्रुव जुरेल को एज अ बैटर खिला देते, या विराट अगर होते तो वो खेलते और आप इस पूरे लाइनअप के साथ खेलते. दैट वाज माय थिंकिंग. और आपको इन 4 बॉलर्स के आगे जरूरत नहीं पड़ने वाली है यार. सिराज ने आज, चलो ही वाज प्लेइंग ऑन हिज होम ग्राउंड, कांग्रेट्स टू हिम एंड एवरीथिंग, लेकिन सिराज ने ऐसा आज क्या कर लिया जो कि वो अगर नहीं होते 11 में कि वो कर लेते. एक्स्ट्रा रन ही तो दिए है ना. वो एक्स्ट्रा रन जडेजा भी दे देते, स्पिनर भी दे देता. जडेजा वो न्यू बॉल के साथ बॉलिंग कर लेते, अश्विन कर लेते. तो ऐसा कुछ हुआ नहीं कि हमें लगे कि यार हमें 2 पेसर की जरूरत थी.
Okay, moving on to the comments now. Can I have the first comment, please? Okay, Vineet, Shreya is asking, so Bazball came to India and died after the 11th over. But yes, it's going to be a long series. Let's hope the tables don't turn. Vineet, what do you have to say?
Let's not be, get to conclusion so early. As I told you, baseball नहीं था वो. पहले 8 ओवर भी कोई baseball नहीं खेले थे. That was proper, मतलब positive intent वाला cricket था. Baseball में थोड़ा force लगता नहीं है. And yes, to answer the second part of your question, long series, let's hope the tables don't turn. क्यों नहीं यार? I mean, one of the things, again, I come back to that stubborn comment that Chetan made. ये चीज है कि इंग्लैंड डिविएट नहीं करेंगे अपने प्लान से. अगर उनको लग रहा है कि पॉजिटिव इंटेंट से खेलना है, हारे या जीते वो इंटेंट चलता रहेगा. एंड yesterday also I said कि if इंग्लैंड के पास कमबैक का चांस है, probably धर्मशाला. बहुत लेट हो जाएगा 5वें टेस्ट तक, सब तक. बट देन अगेन देखो, टेबल्स कैन टर्न. एज जेमी ऑल्सो मेंशन्ड, ऐसा नहीं है कि 250 में ऑल आउट कर दिया आपने 120 रन मार दिए कि गेम जीत गए. डेफिनेटली नॉट. इंडिया इज वेरी मच ससेप्टेबल टू कोलैप्सेस ऑल्सो. इंडोर आपको याद है, दिल्ली का 1 घंटा भी आपको याद है. तो हो सकता है. इंडिया हैव अ वेरी गुड चांस, आर इन अ वेरी स्ट्रांग पोजीशन, बट इट्स स्टिल ओपन. एक ही दिन तो हुआ है. नथिंग हैज डाइड और नथिंग हैज बीन बॉर्न. अभी रुक जाओ थोड़ा, थांबा.
I guess a lot.
And you don't have Virat Kohli also.
Yeah.
He might not be in the greatest nick, but that presence of Virat Kohli counts for a lot for a team like this.
And a lot depends upon how much India end up scoring in the first innings. उस पे momentum बहुत depend करेगा. Well, can I have the next comment, please? Shubman should bat. Usually saying bat positively. Dead bat at everything. He was allowing spinners to bowl. He was batting for stumps. Might be the case. Jamie, what do you have to say? Sing.
Look, I answered this question on another live stream multiple times. This was a very worrying Shubman Gill. Not like the way he's been batting up late gives me some great confidence, but you've got a guy who plays aggressively, naturally. Majority of his runs in Test cricket have come through boundaries, but because he's not clicked the way I think all of us would have wanted him to, he's now gone and batted at number 3. He's in a funk. Okay, होता है. इनसे बहुत बढ़िया प्लेयर के साथ हुआ है कि आपने रोल बदला और आपके रन्स अभी नहीं आ रहे. It's been said on this live stream by all of us at some point that you need to bat a certain way at number 3. Was this the best way? I don't agree. There were balls that he was leaving. I'm like, ये इसको leave क्यों कर रहा है, right? He has to understand that he has 4 innings to do something. This was not a haphazard Shubman Gill, which we saw in the West Indies or in South Africa, but this is also not a very confidence giving Shubman Gill. This was a strange Shubman Gill. Maybe he's been told, भाई देखो कप्तान ने घटिया शॉट खेला, वो बंदा मार रहा है, तू एक नंबर 3 की तरह खेल. बट नंबर 3 को कैसा खेलना चाहिए, ये प्लेयर के बाय प्लेयर बेसिस से चेंज होता है, राइट? Had Chiteshwar Pujara been 14 not out of 43, I'd been like par for the course. But Shubman Gill trying maybe too hard to do something. Did he ever look settled across 43 balls?
No.
Not to my mind. Okay, just like Tom Hartley could come back and get 8 wickets tomorrow, Gill could be batting 125 and stumps. I don't know, because that's the beauty of Test cricket. But something about his innings, it wasn't stubborn, it wasn't confidence building, it wasn't positive. He looked like, I'm surprised he's still batting at stumps.
Jimmy, do you think, just asking as an individual, क्या ये player के mind में चल सकता है that 2 मैच के बाद जब विराट will come back and if we are going to go in with this lineup, is his place is in that uh, debatable or in that zone? क्या वो mind पे चल सकता है? And that's why he's more defensive.
Absolutely चल सकता है. क्या चल रहा है? I don't know, but बिल्कुल चल सकता है, right? Again, I'll go back to what I said in the build-up to this Test match. विराट कोहली के ना होने से श्रेयस अय्यर की मेरे हिसाब से जगह पक्की है, because while he's the best player of spin between these three, he doesn't have the good faith that Shubman Gill has and KL Rahul has. But the same thought I would hope is going to KL Rahul's mind. There's a reason KL Rahul has played 5 Test matches in India in the last 5 years. He doesn't succeed in India, okay? He's a much better overseas batsman. उसके दिमाग में doubt होना चाहिए कि भाई विराट भाई आएंगे. So I think that proverbial talwar is on all these 3 guys. Next, who do I expect to bat the best given the conditions? Shreyas Iyer.
True. Okay, next one, please. Saratra Chandra is asking, why has been a decline in spin bowling talents in England? Chetan bhai.
Sorry, what I didn't see it.
Why has been a decline? Why there has been a decline in spin bowling talents in England? 4 bowler लेकर आए हैं यार. Decline कहाँ से हो गया?
बात तो यार they are playing in conditions. जो उनका काउंटी क्रिकेट हो रहा है वो फर्स्ट और सेकंड हाफ में हो रहा है, जब थोड़ी ज्यादा बारिश होती है. अप्रैल मई में ज्यादा बारिश होती है और सितंबर में ज्यादा बारिश होती है. जो उनका बेस्ट क्रिकेटिंग मंथ्स हैं जुलाई अगस्त के, वो उन्होंने अपने 100 के लिए रख दिए. टाइम पे सारा फर्स्ट क्लास क्रिकेट रुक जाता है. एंड दूसरी चीज, व्हेन डिड दे हैव वर्ल्ड बीटिंग स्पिनर्स यार? किसको गिन रहे हो? आप स्पिन टैलेंट की बात कर रहे हो. कौन थे ग्रेट स्पिनर्स? एक ग्राहम स्वॉन थे, मुझे याद है. उसके अलावा बता दो अगर मैं किसी का नाम भूल रहा हूं.
एशले जाइस.
Was he world class?
I'm saying उससे पहले एशले जाइस थे. Like they don't even have the spinners in their lineup. They never had spinners in their lineup.
वर्ल्ड क्लास स्पिनर एक अगर कोई मुझे याद है मॉडर्न डे क्रिकेट में तो दैट वाज ग्राहम स्वॉन. नेम टेल मी, आई एम आस्किंग यू. मुझे तो याद नहीं आ रहा. Am I forgetting someone? Jimmy?
It's I think we're wasting too much time. This is a country which has never consistently produced spinners. It's like saying before 2010, why didn't India have fast bowlers? They probably produce as many good spinners as we have fast bowlers. So let's move on to something more worth talking
Look,
about.
the closest is Ram Swan, और एक जो 2012 में मॉन्टी पेनेसर का जो सीरीज हुआ था, that's about it. But Swan by far the best. उसके अलावा actually कोई नहीं है. Never been a good team in terms of. Graham Swan was, but not Monty. Monty just had one good series. Graham Swan to a certain extent, yes, I'll still agree. But ज़्यादा वो खेल ही नहीं पाए. उनका डेब्यू थोड़ा लेट हुआ था उसके बाद. But he probably, I would put him in that world class category.
By far their best ever. Outstanding spinner.
Then they have world class spinners.
Yeah.
Wait.
Okay, next question, please. Shreya Pandey is asking, we need criticism for Stokes' captaincy today, but players must take responsibility.
Look, Stokes' captaincy, yes, we have discussed this at length. Giving that extended run to Tom Hartley, starting with Tom Hartley, that 3 reviews. Yes, but players taking responsibility, again, I come back to the batting. There were, look, Johnny Bairstow's wicket was a piece of a delivery. Anybody could have gotten out to that. Oli Pop fetched at a wide delivery. Ben Foakes did the same. Zach Crawley settled in, वो फालतू में आगे बढ़ के वो शिमी करके करने की कोशिश की. Joe Root again look settled. That shot I told you, we were doing that training session के बाद की वीडियोस की बात कर रहे थे, वही स्वीप मार रहे थे, वही आउट हो रहे थे, 16 साल के बच्चे के अगेंस्ट आउट हुए, यहाँ पे भी वही हुआ, बॉल फुलर बॉल्स पे वो स्वीप कर रहे थे, दैट वाज एन एरर इन जजमेंट, थोड़ा सा पीछे फेंका जडेजा ने, स्टिल यू वेंट फॉर दैट शॉट, और जैसे ही वो लगता है कैच हो गया। तो अगेन प्लेयर्स हैव टू टेक रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी। ऐसा नहीं था कि यार विकेट्स सारे इंडियन बॉलर्स ने बहुत बढ़िया बॉलिंग करके विकेट्स निकाले, देयर वर एटलीस्ट 4 विकेट्स दैट वर गिफ्टेड अवे और with a bad shot, so those players have to take responsibility for sure. Yes.
Okay, next one please. Okay, could have been, yeah. Okay, Ujjwal is saying Indian players struggle against rookie spinners, but they are from Australia. Steve O'Keefe, Murphy, Kuhneman, Jimmy. So he's certainly ruling out the England rookie spinners now.
Jimmy, you take this.
This is just look. This is just. I wouldn't say recency bias because it's been what 6 years since Stephen O'Keefe. Go Ajanta Mendes. I watched his debut at the SSC. The guy took 8 wickets. Okay, I remember a guy called Gavin Robertson. He looked more like a bouncer. The guy took wickets in 98. So India have a problem. Hardly abhi tak nahi chale. That's fine, but there is a clear method to the madness. India do struggle. Paul Harris, Ravi Shastri on air. One of the best times Shastri actually was scathing in his commentary was when Sachin Tendulkar and Rahul Dravid on his debut turned Paul Harris, the most basic of left-arm spinners, right, into Lord Harris. Shastri said, why is Sachin Tendulkar and Dravid making Paul Harris on debut into Lord Harris for 2 hours of a Cape Town Test match, which India lost to squander a lead? Sachin Tendulkar and Rahul Dravid, the same level to coach kar rahe, they made a club bowler like Paul Harris look like Lord Harris. So India, let's accept it. India have a problem. I'm sure I didn't watch cricket before 93, 94. I'm sure in the 70s there would have been ample spinners who came and made major Indian batsmen look like pappus. It's a fact. Ab aaj ek nahi chale. Tom Murphy 10 months ago took 7 wickets in the debut innings. So absolutely it's a problem, and I don't know why Indian team keeps struggling against average spinners.
Ayaz Patel has 10 for against us.
Wasn't his debut, but yeah, point taken.
I mean, not that experience.
These are not rookie spinners, yeah. Steve O'Keefe, Murphy, Kuhneman, वो अपने domestic cricket में देखो कितना खेला है उन्होंने.
No, Todd Murphy had played 9 first-class matches. He had no reason getting Virat Kohli 4 times.
नहीं सॉरी, ये हार्टले और ये शोएब बशीर ने कितने फर्स्ट क्लास मैचेस खेले?
हार्टले has
उससे half
20.
Exactly.
Shoaib Bashir has played some 5 matches.
यार एक टॉड मर्फी को छोड़ दो, but Steve O'Keefe was a seasoned spinner. Kuhneman was a seasoned spinner. Kuhneman had bowled with the new ball in Australia.
But when you're playing someone for the first time who's never bowled a ball in India, you can't be betting like this, yeah. It's a big pandemic in this Indian team.
What I'm saying is they were not rookie spinners, you know. They were not rookie spinners. They played. ये हार्टले एंड शोएब बशीर इन्होंने तो खेला क्या है? इनको ये काउंटी क्रिकेट के सेकंड लीग से उठा के लाए हैं. They don't have county experience. They don't have first class experience. They haven't been selected on the basis of county cricket or first class cricket. They've just been picked कि हाँ ये spin करा लेंगे, ले चलो.
Yeah. Okay. Next one, please. But one thing that I find futuristically is that it looks Jaiswal Gill would be the opening pair after Roko, as Gill is stable and takes time while hitting, and Jaiswal goes hard hitting from the initial balls. Chetan bhai, your thoughts?
No, I think Shubman Gill will bat at 5 in the long term.
At 5?
4 or 5. I don't think
Four,
he's
right? True. I guess 4.
Who knows, yaar? We don't know. I think Ruturaj at number 3. I don't know who will open. So I don't think Shubman Gill is cut out for opening in England, in South Africa. I really don't think so. जो हमने देखा है. Australia में वो चल सकते हैं. The ball comes. उनका 5th day is equal to 3rd day in India. 3rd day in Ranji Trophy in India. So yeah, अभी तक तो शुभमन ने मुझे नहीं दिखाया ऐसा है कि वो टॉप 3 की तरह सक्सीड कर सकते हैं ओवरसीज में. And I don't know. Disciplined Prithvi Shaw.
Kind of that comment again, please. Yeah. Ruturaj fit and disciplined Prithvi Shaw. Correct. Are the replacements of Rohit and Virat. Next one, please. I don't want to get into that discussion. Okay. Vineet Prabhakar saying, oh, sorry, that's for Jamie. Jamie, bhai, good evening. What do you think about India's first inning
हाँ
score?
हाँ, I've said this अगर 400 तक नहीं बनाएंगे, colossal failure against this bowling attack on India's. बहुत मैच बाकी है भाई, ये 3 दिन में खत्म नहीं हो रहा ये मैच, बहुत बाकी है.
Okay, next one, please. फोर्थ इनिंग से बचना है तो एटलीस्ट 500 रन बनाने चाहिए. समीर सिंह, विनीत 500 थोड़ा ज्यादा नहीं हो गया? इतने की भी जरूरत नहीं है. You're on mute, yeah.
400 would be enough here. 500 तक की जरूरत नहीं है. 400, 380, 400 should be enough.
Okay. Now, this single lineup is not enough for defending fourth inning also. Chetan bhai.
आई डोंट नो, आप कैसे कह सकते हो? अभी उन्होंने एक सेशन में बॉलिंग की है. फोर्थ इनिंग्स इस पिच पे कैसा होने वाला है किसको क्या पता है. डोंट अंडर एस्टिमेट जैकी. जो रूट ने 5 विकेट लिए हुए हैं, आधे स्पिनर वो भी हैं. आई थिंक आई थिंक क्वालिटी इज नॉट देयर कंप्लीटली, लेकिन लेट्स नॉट अंडर एस्टिमेट एनीबॉडी. फोर्थ इनिंग्स में 200 कोई नहीं बना सकता.
Exactly. And also the way Yashasvi is batting, that is a different mind setup altogether. वो भी एक थोड़ा सा कंसिडरेशन में लेना पड़ेगा. उसने ज्यादा बैकफुट पे डाल दिया.
Let's see. अभी एक सेशन इंडिया ने बैटिंग की है, उन्होंने एक सेशन बॉलिंग की है. लेट्स नॉट फॉरगेट कि दे वर बॉलिंग विद अ न्यू बॉल यार. द स्पिनर्स वर बॉलिंग विद अ न्यू बॉल. जो रन्स आए हैं आपकी हार्ड बॉल के अगेंस्ट आए हैं. तो अभी बॉल कितने 25 ओवर पुरानी है. वेट तो करो क्या होता है. 25 ओवर में तो इंग्लैंड भी पीट रही थी ना स्पिनर्स को. तो वेट तो करो.
Next one, please. England needs to get Jazball and Iyer out. Other batsmen will struggle. Jamie, 9 नंबर तक बैटिंग है वैसे तो.
नहीं है. Again, I mean, look, it's one really bad session for England for all the reasons we've described. If they make the same mistake tomorrow, then you can say. But right now, again, I mean, hard ball, soft ball, all valid points. Jaiswal, probably, if India go on to win this match, which I think they should, Jaiswal should get majority of the credit. Shubman Gill has not been able to do this. Whoever opened alongside Rohit Sharma has not been able to do this. अब अचानक एक लड़के ने कैसे किया? Talent है, lefty है, but you just have to go out there and say, you know what? Like I said, that brass ball approach. Why I'm going to hit this guy for the first ball he's bowled in Test cricket. Can Rohit Sharma not do that? Of course he can. Can Shubman Gill? But they've not done it because this boy is doing something which he doesn't have the baggage. मैं इस हार्टली को नहीं खेलने दूंगा यहाँ पे. Can Shreyas Iyer do it? I hope so. But again, without Virat Kohli here, that massive figure, just a guy who can bat out session after session, him not being there, this match could turn. I don't think England have done enough to stay in the match for a long time. But again, I'm not, like Chetan said in one of the earlier shows, use that cliche, don't judge the pitch until both teams are batted. Right now, India only have 119 on the board. Things could drastically change tomorrow.
Okay, last one, please. Okay, Sir Chandra. Okay, Chandra bhai, from you first. Chetan, sir, please go to stadium and somehow talk to Rohit and tell him to take time and play for long. I know he knows better about cricket, but just asking as a fan. Nice one. Okay, last one, please. Can I have next comment, please? Okay. Ujjwal is saying this pitch is a slow turner. Wicket लेना tough होगा. Ball soft होने पर. Vineet, your comments.
Yeah, it is a slow wicket. Akshar Patel also mentioned this at the press conference that slow wicket है तो जो turn हो रहा है ना उससे adjust करने में आसानी हो रही है. तो होगा. I mean, yes, wicket आगे soft ball से लेना थोड़ा मुश्किल होगा. But again, the quality of the Indian bowlers are the Indian bowlers would definitely take wickets. It's about batting, yaar. If you apply yourself better, you will get runs. If you apply yourself better as a bowler, you will get wickets. This is what Akshar Patel said, and I completely concur to what Ujjwal has said.
Okay, well, let's just hope that India take a big and massive lead and Yashasvi goes on to score a big one. Well, thank you, gentlemen, for joining in this live session. We'll connect again. Bye-bye. Good night.
Fastest cricket score updates या सबसे डिटेल्ड स्टैट्स
क्रिकेट के अंदर बाहर की खबरें
या हेल्दी डिबेट्स
सबसे एक्यूरेट एनालिसिस
या फैंस का क्रेज, सबके लिए एक ही प्लेटफॉर्म, क्योंकि क्रिकेट मतलब क्रिकेट नेक्स्ट।